Now, you got 1090 Jakes and DJ Vlad talking about the Tupac murder. First of all, 1090 Jakes wasn't even alive when this shit happened. But he got so much to say. When you got these two Slavics building their whole platform off of talking about how greasy and how stupid we are. All they do is joke us. Y'all think they be pumping y'all up. What they're doing is they're actually joking y'all, yo. They don't do no videos on their own people, but they always doing videos wearing big chains, you know what I mean, showing off like they gangsters and all this, you know what I mean. I don't get it, yo. But every time I turn around, one of y'all doing a fucking interview with DJ Vlad, and yo, this is ridiculous, yo. But yeah, let's check it out.
All right, here we go. 1090 Jake, welcome back.
Sir.
It's your second time.
Yeah, man.
Second interview, man. You're a repeat guest now.
Yeah.
Well, the first interview did some big numbers, man. Congratulations.
Appreciate
Hopefully the feedback on your end was good as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So let's get into what's happening right now. And of course, the biggest thing in the hip-hop world...
You heard that? He said, hopefully your feedback was as good as mine. Yo said that. In other words, I hope you made as much money as I did. Yeah, so they just getting rich off of talking greasy about us. About how stupid we are. And joking us. And like, all we do is suck them off and deal with them more and more and more and more and more. We already know Vlad ain't right. We already know Vlad connected with the boys. Now it's starting to look like, you know, I used to always wonder, how come this boy 1090 always got the scoop before anybody got the scoop? He know who got murdered, who got shot, who was involved. He know about that shit an hour after it happens. It don't matter what city is in, what state is in, what country is in, what continent is on. He always know. So I always thought that this boy wasn't right. You know what I mean? Trust me, it's going to get exposed. He's going to get exposed. Now, Vlad, he already been exposed. But all you nuts, you still want to run up to his podcast and do a interview with him, brag about, you know, me and my mans, we out here, we doing this, we doing that, we doing this, we doing that. Yo, don't you know that this boy Vlad has been known to tell the alphabet boy shit about people that he interviewed? Don't y'all know that? Y'all don't really care. Y'all just want fame, and y'all want to be internet and social media famous so bad that y'all really don't care. Y'all actually being lined up by the actual ops.
Is the Keefy D Tupac case. This happened in 1996, and he was recently arrested. Mm-hmm. What's your take on this whole thing?
First of all, how you gonna have a take on it when you wasn't even alive doing this shit, nigga? You wasn't even alive. You wasn't even born when Tupac died. He wasn't even alive then. So, what? Who cares what you think, fat white boy? Shit crazy, yo.
It's crazy. I mean, they try to say you solved it. You know what I mean? That's what they're trying to put out there. But it's like, I've paid attention to a lot of your work. And obviously, I paid attention to the case. And I personally feel like this generation just doesn't fucking read anymore. A lot of people are just lazy. And this is actually how I got put into the position that I'm in. They're like, yo, how do you get the paperwork? And how do you find out who's snitching?
Now, you heard what he said. He know how to use his words very slick. He said this generation don't read. Basically, what he's saying, it's true. But what he's saying is melanated so-called Negroes don't read. Cause he don't do videos on nobody else but us. So come on, y'all. Read between the lines, y'all. Wake up. Stop dealing with this boy. I want him off the internet for real. I hope he, man, I hope so. Ooh, boy. I hope something happens and he stopped doing videos about us, yo. About us shooting each other, killing each other, setting each other up, snitching on each other. Yo, got us looking crazy. And all the white boys is the ones that's getting rich off of it. All the melanated vloggers, they ain't getting rich off the shit. All the Slavics are. All the white boys are. All the LGBs, they the ones that's getting rich off of it. But like, ain't no brothers getting rich off of our own demise. These motherfuckers is the ones that's getting rich. Vlad, 1090 Jakes, No Jumper. Come on, yo. I got like 4 videos of blasting these boys. I'm a small channel because I'm shadow banned because I gets in these because I tell the truth, dog. So you big channels, man, y'all gotta start putting this information out, dog, or y'all scared.
Cause I know how to fucking read. So if anybody knew how to read, they would have known that he already wrote about everything he talked about on your platform.
Yes.
But people are still trying to come at you about the whole situation.
Well, listen, I'm taking somewhat credit for it because he did write a book. And, before the book, he actually, had a proffer agreement with Greg Cady where he admitted to a bunch of the stuff. Between that proffer agreement statement, as well as his book, as well as all the other stuff that I learned from living in Los Angeles, we called him in, did the interview, and I kind of laid out the whole story. Well, I did his whole life story from the very beginning about how he grew up in Compton, his relationship with Suge, becoming part of the Southside Crips, and, to that whole night in Vegas, leading up to the altercation with Orlando, the actual shooting, and then what happened afterwards. So, in my mind, I essentially laid out the whole case and solved it. But, I didn't solve it myself. Authorities are solving it.
Yeah.
But,
You
it was
hear
one of
that?
these things where it was just the worst kept secret in L.A. Everybody knew that it was Orlando. Everyone knew it was the Southside Crips. Everyone knew it was over the altercation that happened. But outside the hip-hop world, no one ever knew about Keefe D. No one knew that this information was out there. So, like, when he actually got arrested, like, everyone was just shocked. And suddenly the spotlight went on me. And that's where, the Pierce Morgan interviews started happening, the Breakfast Club interviews, and, everything else like that. But the interesting thing about it, and this is kind of where I feel the gray area about this case, was that Keefe D, 10 plus years ago, met with Greg Cady, and he had a big PCP charge.
Yeah.
He had gotten caught with a whole bunch of PCP, based on his priors, would have given him life in prison. So Greg Cady met with him, and he said, listen, tell me all about the Tupac case, and I'll offer you a proffer agreement. Explain what a proffer agreement is.
Educational purposes only. Fair use. Educational purposes only. Fair use. I don't make no money off my videos. I do this shit for the love of my people.
Well, the profit is going to be where you give information, and in return, they're more or less going to help you out. Like proffers, my co-defendant took a proffer, and basically he told them everything that happened
He
in
is
that
so
case.
fucking fat, can't even get it in the fucking screen.
So in the hopes that he would get a reduced sentence, and then in the federal
Sick
system,
of this white boy.
same shit. You know what I mean? It's a 5K1. But basically, you're giving up information to solve something in the hopes that in return, it's going to save you from whatever. And obviously, his drug case, that would have been the return. That would have been the benefit of doing that.
Right, because in return, they dropped his PCP case.
Yeah.
And he walked away from life in prison. But I think the thing about the proffer agreements that people don't quite understand, and I think this is a little bit fuzzy as well, is from what I understand, I could be wrong, is that a proffer agreement, you could say whatever you want to say, and nothing in that statement could then be used against you.
Right.
In a criminal case.
Mm-hmm.
But where it gets a little bit fuzzy is that, from what I understand, proffer agreement, it's also called clean for a day. And I say that because it's only good for that day.
Yeah.
Meaning that the next day, if you turn around and tell that same story again, all of that could be used against you.
Yeah, well, they also have, I think it's the Son of Sam law. Son of Sam, that was the serial killer in New York, and it's basically like you can't capitalize off of a crime that you've committed. And that's what stopped a lot of people. Like, everybody wants to write books and, oh yeah, I'm a gangster, this and that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it was the Son of Sam was trying to capitalize off the murder cases that he was involved in. And they basically created that, if I'm correct, they created the law to make it so that somebody that was convicted of some heinous shit can't capitalize off of the situation.
Yeah, okay, let's do it. The Son of Sam law, also known as notoriety for profit law, is an American English term for any law designed to keep criminals from profiting from the publicity of their crimes, for instance, by selling their stories to publishers. But, I mean, you're technically profiting off of...
These white boys, yo, they want to be us so bad, yo. I remember when white boys didn't wear chains. I remember when white boys didn't dress like us. Yo, now they want to, now they just all the way trying to be us now.
your crimes by telling about what you did criminally in the past.
I don't think they had YouTube when they made that. Hopefully they don't change it, you know what I mean? But
you see what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put the spotlight on you.
But that's the thing about it is, if you're involved in a fucking murder and you take a profit and you get away from the situation, keep it quiet. But obviously, he's trying to max the gas and profit out of the situation as much as he can, and now he's in the situation that he's in. He's fucked.
Yeah, I mean, he wrote the book, so anyone who watches my interview, they'll see that at certain points he'll try to avoid certain questions, and I'll say, well, in the book, it says X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And then at that point, he has to address it to a certain degree.
And then, not for nothing, he did multiple interviews after you where they reiterated the same questions, and he answered them over there.
Right.
Talking about Tupac looked like he was breakdancing when he was getting shot and all these other different things. So it's like if he didn't say it on yours, he said it on another, and either way the information came out.
Well, because at first his ex-wife's house got raided.
Yeah.
See how these white boys, they look out for each other. They co-sign each other. They co-sign one. They got each other back. They stamping each other's work. You know what I mean? They stand together. That's another thing that we don't do. So, man, hopefully we can learn to start coming together and standing in solidarity, man, taking care of each other, and stop doing all the heinous crimes that we doing to each other, and then letting all these white boys, all these Slavics, all these Caucasians get rich off of our own demise. Telling you, man, I never felt comfortable. One day I sat back and I was like, I'm trying to tell you. One day I woke up about 4 o'clock in the morning, and he had just put a video up. This boy 1090 had just put a video up an hour before the murder happened, an hour before that. How is that he is always the one to get the down low on the shit before anybody? You gotta have connections with them people, yo. They probably calling him saying, boy, look, we got another one for you. Send us 10,000 after you get your 50,000 or something like that. Cause they both rich behind this shit. All of them. All the white channels. All of them. All of them. All of them. All of them. I would name all of them, but no, I don't have to. All of them. All the white boy vloggers that do that do videos about rappers and shit like that. All of the Slavic, Caucasian vloggers, they are damn near or are rich behind our downfall. Stop going to these people and interviewing with them, man. Stop it.
In Las Vegas. And then the grand jury started to begin. You know, the grand jury is like, I really hate the concept of a grand jury. I kind of learned it recently. I remember I was talking to a lawyer friend of mine, and he was saying how, like, Johnny Cochran had this famous line where he said that I can convict a ham sandwich with a grand jury. Because the way a grand jury works is that it could go on for years. They could, you know, you have a grand jury to try to get an indictment on somebody, but it's not just, okay, we're all going to come in, give all our evidence, and the grand jury will decide. It'll be like the meetings can just go on and on. It's like they're going to come in, present some evidence. Okay, we'll meet in another week. Okay, here's some more evidence. Okay, we're not done yet. Give us another 2 weeks. Here's more evidence. Here's more evidence. At the point where they're just
Crunchy Black, stay away from these boys, man. Lil Boosie, stay away from these boys, man. And everybody else, stay away from these boys. I'm done. I don't even want to get him no more notoriety, man. That's it, man. That's it. And it's Paris the Moore, man. Y'all already know. Y'all already know. I ain't doing no cut on nothing, especially when it's dealing with the demise of my own people led by these Caucasoids. Peace, man. I'm out, man.